I'm going to try to make a quick video because the last one I made was too long, about how to get rid of the two-party system. And the very simple way to do it is to use a board account. If you look up in Wikipedia, it'll show you the exact opposite of what I'm going to show you, but it's like a tomato-tomato thing. They're going to come out with the same result. I've written a spreadsheet where you rank your vote first to fifth, and you have to rank all of the candidates. And I came up with a few examples of what the ranking should be. I've a sample of 3 voters from each party, and then counted those 3 up and averaged them over 3, and I did that again for each party. And if this first set of voters votes for their number 1 candidate, Republican, and their last is anything but a Republican, they put a 500 Democrat, and vice versa with the big party doing the same thing, it will give us the dissolution of the two-party system. Down here, I'm showing with a big percentage of the big parties and a small percentage of the other parties, and however you want to mess with that, it still comes out to where the first place winner is neither of the 2 big parties, and the reason being is because of the no votes from the big parties. And I'm using the spreadsheet with some pretty complicated formulas, as you can see up here. It's quite complicated, but if you want to look at this spreadsheet, then please send me an email and I'll send you the file. I hadn't figured out a way to post it yet, because I don't have a purely my design website. I'm just using the YouTube, Facebook, and MySpace stuff. But you can change these around, and these are all formulas I've used. They're not just numbers I plugged in. So the only plugged in numbers are the ranks of the individual voters. And my main reason for doing this is to show how to get rid of the two-party system and create more cooperation instead of filibustering to get things done. And I think that would be better for everyone, Democrats and Republicans and everyone in between, because the spirit of cooperation is what we need, not a banging your head up against each other like a pit fight or something. And that's about 20 minutes briefer of my last video, but I hope I didn't go into a whole lot for each one. I'm just showing how each voter gives an example of how they would vote. And I'll go down here again, and that is to say, if the Democrats vote number 1 for themselves and number 5 for the Republican, and whoever has the lowest score wins, and that basically the big parties voting against each other would make it more viable for the smaller parties to get elected, because they're going to be partially in agreement with the big parties and partially not, and more apt to be able to compromise. Because with the lack of compromise, nothing gets done. And it's one of Ben Franklin's biggest contributions to the writing of the Constitution, was every now and then he'd sit up during the middle of an argument, because he was laid into bed. He was old and decrepit at the time, and he would say, compromise. And that's really all he said. He wrote a letter that was read by someone else because he wasn't able to read it himself. But the way the two-party system is, there's no reason to compromise, especially if you have one big party that's in a dominant position. Then they get what they want, or if 2 parties are having equal position, nothing will get done. And that's all I have to say about that. Again, if you look up the board account on Wikipedia, they're assigning a 5 value to their first rank vote, and a 1 value to their, or an N, value to their, which is actually a little bit more complicated, but it gives you the same result, um, except that the person with the most points wins, whereas this one, the person with the least points wins. But it's tomato tomato type of thing. They're both exactly the same, give the exact same results. So if you want this file, shoot me an email and I'll send it to you. But if we can get this way of voting instituted, we can get rid of the two-party oligarchy that we currently live in, and actually get some things done that we need to get done. Thank you.